Hey everybody, Healthy Prepper here. Today's topic is the panic room or the safe room. Do you have one in your house? Would you like to have one in your house? Maybe you have one like the one in the movie Panic Room with Jodie Foster, all the bells and whistles. Or maybe it's just an idea floating around in your head thinking one day, yeah, that would be great. Or maybe perhaps you think, hey, I rent here, I'm not going to invest in that. Either way, there's probably in every home an area that would be considered the safest place. And this idea came about from a commenter who posted creating an inner defensive circle and running drills with children to get them to this circle in case of emergency. And this was by Einar 90808. I thought that was a great point, to drill your kids, teaching them where to go in case of an emergency. Now, in some emergencies, you're going to want to get them to go and hide in a safe area in the house, but obviously if it's a fire or something like that, you want to get them out of the house as fast as possible. But let's take a look at this from the panic room situation. Now, in my prepper dream world, I would like to have the Jodie Foster bells and whistles panic room. I don't, but and if I did, I probably wouldn't tell you. So, but I'm thinking, well, what can I do? What can I work with right now? What have I got right now? Are there areas in my home that I could go to that would increase my level of safety or security? And I can think of at least 3 places in my home where I could go. And one of them is lockable, and the 2 others are not lockable, but they're very well concealed, and you would have to know that they were there in order to find them. So I think it's good to run through your mind in your own home. Where are the sweet spots? They may not be perfect. They may not have, artillery. They may not have ammo and food for a year, but they are your inner defensive circle, which is a good thing to have. A place of retreat where you can go, possibly evade, possibly attack from a different vantage point. They're not expecting you to pop out of this place. But let's think about our own home situations and think about where those spots might be. And I would strongly recommend to think of at least 2. And just remember that they don't have to be perfect. They just have to be better than out in the open. The element of surprise is huge when attacks are going on. And being able to hide and lay low and stay under cover can mean the difference between life and death. Now, since we can never predict what the circumstances might be, and we might fully believe that I don't need to hide because I have all my guns and all my weapons and I'm just going to take down whoever is taking down me. Well, since we never know truly what the circumstances will be, whether they take one of you hostage and threaten you, whether you get injured and you're not able to respond the way you normally would, there's a myriad of things that could happen. So it's a good idea to have at least a backup plan or a scenario in your mind where these places could be. These things can be anything from closets to cupboards to attics to cellars to, if you have, furniture with large openings that you could crawl into. If you have a giant chest you could get into. Something that's accessible easily and quickly. It doesn't make too much noise, and you can physically get there fast without letting the whole world knowing that you're going to get there. In other words, if you have to crawl up a bookcase and knock down every book on the bookcase in order to get up into the ceiling rafters, it's going to be a little bit obvious that you're up there. So you may want to think of a different plan. But I think even the smallest apartments probably have some little place that you could go that might just not be noticed right away. And you may only need seconds. So I would love to hear your thoughts and ideas. You're probably going to think of many things that I have not even thought of, and I would love to hear them. So if we could share these ideas with each other now, that would be incredible. Consider this the thrifty way to build your panic room in your mind before you actually build your panic room. It's a creative experiment in documenting in your own brain where you would go in case of emergency, and evasion was the best course of action, and let's say for some reason getting out of the house was not a possibility at that time. So, love to hear your thoughts on this one, everybody, and don't panic, stay calm, and happy and healthy prepping.